Oh, hey y'all. So this is gonna be a quick update of my Cartel Down Anthuriums hybrids that I got 3 months ago in a plant unboxing. If you missed that, you could check it out here. I was very manic. I was just very excited, and it's been 3 months. Y'all know that I posted another video of repotting these in Pon and Stratum, and I'm just gonna show you the update. Don't expect a large, luscious growth. There is definitely new growth, and there's definitely some questionable bad stuff as well, but I just want to show you, just to update you guys just on how they're doing. And I honestly, ever since I got these plants, I've been checking up on them. It's just been so wonderful having them and watching them grow. Again, like having baby anthuriums, I'm very new to that realm, but I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. And I'll talk about later what I wanted to change in the future. Okay, so I think there were 15. Oh, and also I'm gonna talk about a few more anthuriums that I got from Cartel Down and just show them. Because I think there's one that I didn't film at all, and I think there's only 2 anthuriums for that one, but there are 3 that I got a month ago or 2 months ago, and it's just another excuse to show more anthuriums, y'all. What's that? Okay, so the first one I have here is the Hoffmanni crossed with Velvet Mask. Okay, so remember, so this one, out of a lot of them, this one actually has had no issues with the transition. So she had this leaf, and then she also had this leaf. The new leaf looks fantastic. Now, Hoffmanni, just in general, was never on my radar, but ever since I started seeing them on Cartel Down, I just really was obsessed with the reds in the center, and I don't know if it's showing. And there are undertones that are more red, like under the green. I don't know if that makes sense, but this is the new leaf. I just spilled so much of the reservoir on the floor. Oh, good. It went on the electrical. That's always fun. Okay, let's not get electrocuty. So yeah, that's her. You can see that she has size, and you can, right here, you can see the color difference. Like, do you see the undertones of red? Absolutely obsessed. Along with that, there is a new leaf. Girl, oh, there. Do you see the leaf? Hey, yay! Okay, there are tons of roots. I think I broke this one. You can see the tips here. I think those 2 broke. Is that one broken? That one's broken, yeah. But there's one. Wow, it won't focus. Do you see it though? It's right there. Oh, and there's more on that side over here. Yeah, very exciting. Now, with these anthuriums, I really made sure to submerge a lot of the stem just to initiate the new root growth from the aerial roots. And you can see that big white one over there. Do you see that? You can see some pieces of stratum and pon on it. Very exciting. I do want to say, I think in the future, I think because I was busy and kind of trying to make room and trying to rearrange my room, I put them in this greenhouse, and I just had them in water for, I think it was a couple weeks. I don't think I would do that again. I think maximum I would do maybe a week and then transfer them. I only say that because I've gotten I think 5 in total Cartel Down anthuriums, and I've put them straight into pon. I've put them straight into tree fern. I think there's only one that's not really doing well, but yeah, obsessed. I also like how the backs stay this kind of reddish tone. Yeah. Okay, do you see the reds? Wow, I'm obsessed. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is the Anthurium Forgetii crossed with Fort Sherman. This one had a little bit of a tough go, 100%. I honestly don't remember, but seeing that she only has 1 leaf left and I cut that leaf in half, it just shows me that I wanted the plant to focus on root growth. I personally find that when you have a lot of leaves with a new import or a plant that you're trying to rehab, if it has a lot of leaves, it takes a lot of energy to maintain those leaves. And so what I do, I cut it down to 1, maybe 2 leaves. If it is 1 leaf and I see that the roots are actually really not doing well, I cut that 1 leaf in half. And so you can see, do you see? And I want to say I feel like it looks nothing like the new leaf looks nothing like what it looked like before. Because look at that. And I mean, I feel like I remember what this one looks like, but it's hard when you have so many. But look at this new leaf. It is so, are you kidding? I don't know. It looks so good to me. I think it's because, I don't know. Is it because of the fertilizer in the pond? Is it because of the stratum? I don't know. I do want to say also I've been feeding, like I dilute a nutrient solution every 3 weeks to a month. With these ones specifically, I wasn't really feeding it. If anything, I was doing like Myco and Diamond Nectar mix and just watering it every like couple weeks. But I feel like when they're at this stage, I don't feel like I want to feed them. But look at the look. Look how it's bounced back so much. And like, I'm gonna say this again. I feel like Fort Sherman, that lineage of plants of wait, I don't know if that made sense, but you know, like if anything crosses for Fort Sherman is so like resilient, and I find like fast if it grows fast, but this is just wonderful. Okay, let's do the root check. Yeah, look at that. So wonderful. I think that's the only one. I think that's the only one, and then we're gonna like dig a little bit to see, you know, what, oh, yeah, so look at this root over here. Oops, that's the label. I don't know, it's there. That's the new aerial root. I do find that even the ones that are in tree fern, having it in a self-watering pot really helps it, especially if you're trying to root those upper stems, just because you gotta keep that area wet, wet, wet. If it's dry, a lot of the time, the aerial roots will be fresh, but then if there's no moisture, it'll just dry out. And then you've kind of lost that opportunity. You need to wait for the next kind of node situation. So yeah, isn't this great? Oh my God, every week I'm just like watching these anthuriums and I'm just like so excited. So excited, oh my God. So that's the second one. The third one is the Anthurium HU Red Crystal. Okay, she hasn't done anything. I don't know what happened, but the past couple leaves, actually, she kept aborting the leaves. So she looks the same, essentially. I might have cut one leaf off, but I'm a little like, I'm a little sad because I think, well, after the fact, I think I was so excited for this one. So she's still alive, but do you see, because she like aborted the leaves, now there's like multiple growth points. I think it's better on this side. Have y'all seen that? When the newest growth point of the main plant starts to like, if you either cut it, sometimes that really initiates another growth point at a different node, and you can see that, I don't know if the main one is, oop. So this one is not the main one. It might look like it. There's one from under. Oh my God, my camera's shaking. I think because there's a lot of, you know, energy being divided, I think that's why it's not done anything. I mean, that wasn't there before, so it's not the worst thing. I just like was so excited for this one to see the new leaves. But I think we're just gonna have to be more patient. And I don't see any roots. This is a bigger planter. I'm using the 6-inch ones. The other two that I showed you were the 4.5-inch, I think. But yeah, she's still here. Let me like dig a little bit to see. Yeah, I mean, the roots are here. That is the update on the Anthurium HU Red Crystal. So the next two, I'm gonna show you the Anthurium Bigfoot crossed with Velvet Mask. One of them's done fine. The other one took a turn. Let's start off with the one that did well. So here's the first one. So the first leaf that came out, I think because it was maybe pushing out this leaf during the transfer, she looks a little scary. But that's okay. Again, I love the overlapping because Velvet Mask, right? Yeah. But also like Bigfoot has some overlapping lobe genetics. And this is the new leaf. Look at that. I love the redness in the centers and then the veins. Look at this. I'm so obsessed. She is getting a lot of light. I probably need to back her away, but I think I was just kind of scared. I think I did cut the leaves because they were starting to go. See that new root? You can see a ton of strata. Oh, look at this new one over here. Right over there. Yay. Okay, that was the one that was doing good. The other one I had to take out because I think I put it in a big self-watering planter and I regretted it. I was like, why did I do this? I think I was even questioning it when I repotted it. Oh my god, I just watered this one so they're like, okay. So here it is. So, like I said, if I see that a plant is doing so poorly and like basically all the roots are gone, I cut the leaf, I blast it with light, and that's why it's this color, along with not having any roots. And then, yeah, it's a Bigfoot velvet mask. So this was the other one that had the closed sinus on one of the leaves. Obsessed. And every time I look, so I rehabbed it in tree fern substrate over here. And I haven't been able to see any roots. But I know it's doing well because she feels really good. And also, do you see that red new growth point there? That didn't exist before. So I know it's doing better. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. So I'm really like so thankful that it didn't fully like rot away and that I caught it at the right moment, did the right thing. I find that like in the first 3 months of a lot of plants really, they might not look the greatest. And obviously like there was an adjustment phase. So I'm very happy that she's still alive. Okay, one that I was very excited about. This was the Anthurium, well, one of the Anthurium no IDs. Okay, so this one really, I feel like I'm gonna make, cause I think I got 2 of them and they looked a little similar. But this one, I don't even know. See, this is what I'm talking about. It is so dark. It is so dark. And I don't know, like not knowing the parents. And do you see that potentially? Because look at the lobes. Look how close they are to each other. I just love the muted veins and then just, it's, compared to a lot of the other anthuriums here, it's a lot thicker. And again, I'm just basing this on seeing this one leaf, feeling this one leaf, and I'm obsessed because there's a new one right there. And you can see fresh aerial roots down there. Do you see that? Wow. So look at that. I am obsessed. Okay, this is a no ID, right? Yeah, it is. Are there any roots in the reservoir? Yeah. Oh. Do you see this? And I know the bottom looks kind of dark. Let me just do a feel. Please be okay. It's not okay. It's squish, squish. I think I've said this in the past, but anthurium roots like to be moist at all times, but they do not like sitting in a reservoir long term. Again, this is going to depend on certain anthuriums, but based on my experience, they can tolerate it for a little bit, but eventually if they're sitting, and you can see that the length of this one is really hitting the bottom. So bottom part has been really sitting in the water reservoir for quite a long time, they might rot. So yeah, what do you think? It could be potentially like Forgetii, because I think their Forgetii kind of has more muted veins. I mean, they're there still, but they're a bit more muted. Maybe there's Fort Sherman in here because it's so dark. Potentially, like, I don't know, Papillolaminum. This is what I'm so excited for because at this size, you're not going to know, but I think this leaf looks so different from what the other leaves looked like. So I'm really excited. The next one is going to be the Velvet Mask crossed with Fort Sherman. So if y'all remember, it was kind of like, I think I was joking. I was like, this is like, it had so many growth points. And I think when I repotted it, I cut one or I broke one off and planned to repot it. That one didn't make it. I think I let it sit in the water for too long that part just rotted. So the pup that I took apart from this one didn't make it, but the rest of the plant is still here. It's still debated because I was very nervous with all the growth points. Like I didn't know like what it was gonna, I think it helped actually taking off that additional pup, taking away one growth point from one like single plant root system. Here she is. So these are the older leaves over here. But like in my recollection, I don't remember them being like this. So this is a newer leaf. Is it hard enough? It's close to hard enough. Over here, I think this one is right under a grow light, so you can see that doesn't look great. And then this one is facing away. Do you see how much darker this one is. I guess you can't really tell. But the color is a lot different, I find. I feel like this is looking more Velvet Mask minus the closeness. Like the color, I think it's looking more like that. Because if it was Fort Sherman is like a lot darker, and maybe in time I'll see more elongated leaves like this one over here. But yeah, so 2 growth points. I'm happy that there's not more. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that I think because I repotted it, the first leaf that came out was actually this. Hilarious. And then she pushed out this one. So still beautiful. Like, look at the difference. I love it. It's gonna be very fascinating watching this one grow. Okay, this was not really looking too great. Okay, this is gonna be the Goliath crossed with HU Red Crystal. So I don't know if this was there before. This one might be the first new leaf, or it might have existed already. And then this leaf is a new leaf. So looking kind of crunchy. I think it looks more of a Goliath, even though it's not super dark yet. And there is a new leaf. I'm gonna hope. A lot of these, I've tried to rotate them depending on like the height, because I am using the Sunblaster LED grow light. And that was only because, you know, I really didn't want these plants to die. I wanted them to root. And so, yeah, so actually this one is right under the grow light. So it's probably getting like 1,000 to 2,000 foot candles, which is too much. So maybe I'll move her or try to move her into a different place. But yeah, this is how she's doing. I'm also doing this because I just know, I'm gonna probably regret saying this. I just know that even though they look a little crunch, I know in a year's time they're gonna look so good, and I just need the footage. I have it in one of these self-watering planters that I absolutely hate, but because I didn't have enough planters and I just needed a place for them. I don't see any roots in the reservoir, but you can see some aerial roots. Ooh, ooh. Over there, future heaven zoom in over there. But yeah, Goliath crossed with King of Spades Red Crystal. The next one is the Anthurium papillilaminum crossed with Queen Crystallinum. So I'm pretty sure this is the only original leaf left. Really looking like a Queen Crystal. And then she pushed out this small cute leaf over here. So adorable. And then the new leaf is this one. It's looking so good. Woo. Okay, the pink like border, and you could kind of see in the center here the thick crystallinum veins. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, there is a new leaf. I've been trying to like spray this so it frees itself, but you can see like the bandania. I'm really hoping. Let me just run it over the faucet. Under the faucet. But oh my gosh, this is gonna be another one I'm super obsessed with. But yeah, oh my god, look at her. I just love how long it is and the crystalliness this is. Oh my god, this was not doing well. Okay, the next one, she's a big crunch, is a Bigfoot crossed with Goliath. Okay, based on what I see, it looks to me that I was really trying to rehab it because this is the only original leaf left and I cut it in half. So I'm assuming, and again, I only do this with plants that have a non-existent root system. So that's probably what happened, but I'm digging and I can see a lot of roots actually. Strategy worked, all those roots, but the new leaf, I think it got stuck or something. Or like it maybe got stuck in the cataphyll, but it got crunched on one end. But there's so much potential. Like it's looking so good. And there is actually a new leaf. Do you see that? Oh my god, right there. Do you see the new leaf? Oh my gosh, she's so funny looking. I love it. Okay. Again, I don't like these planters. So maybe in my next video, I'll probably repot the Queen Crystal. Was it? Yeah, the Queen Crystal hybrid. And all the ones that are in these planters, I think there's a few more. There's like 5 of them. I'll probably repot them because I don't like them. So Goliath crossed with, oh, Bigfoot crossed with Goliath. Whoa, okay. I didn't know this leaf was as big as it is. The next one is a Queen Crystallinum crossed with HU King of Spades. One original leaf left. I'm pretty sure this is a new one just based on how it feels and the color. So I think this is the first one that came out. Again, looking very Queen Crystallinum like, with the elongation of the leaves. And then we have this beautiful, like, look at the size difference. Ooh, not fully hardened off, so I do expect this to get a tiny bit darker, but do you see the long leaf? I kind of feel, I actually don't know if the roots are seeing the reservoir, but do you see how it's a bit yellow? I find, and I found this when I had plants, this was years ago, my anthuriums that I had in Leca. Every time the roots in the reservoir, or there's a lot of roots sitting in the reservoir for quite a long time, you get this border. So I think that's what's happening. This leaf is facing the west facing window, so it's not the strongest amount of light. It's like kind of the end of the summer. Is that a thrip? So let's take a look. Yeah, okay. Yeah, do you see the same things happen? There's another one there. Do you see there's two? And then this one. Actually, these tips are healthy. But I'm probably gonna either cut them or transfer this one. Because, yeah, look at that. You can really see it when I do that. It's always an issue with anthuriums when you have like net pots because they're just gonna go towards the area where there's more air and they're gonna be happy and they're gonna keep growing like rapidly, which will help the plant grow. And you can see that substantially. I think the reason why this leaf is so much bigger is probably another one that I'm going to transfer, but this is the Queen Crystal crossed with King of Spades. Okay, the next one is a Anthurium Bigfoot crossed with Fort Sherman. Okay, looking at it and feeling, I don't know if, anyways, I'm just gonna show it. So this is the newest leaf. You can see that she got stuck somewhere. This is one of the original leaves. The newest one, I don't know if this one was a new leaf or if it existed already. She's still like super cute. Bigfoot Fort Sherman. Really just looking like a Bigfoot in my opinion. Not exhibiting, at least now, any Fort Sherman vibes. I mentioned this when I was repotting them. I've had so many issues with transferring young anthuriums into Lucius Pond, and I think at the time that's why I want to put Fluval stratum in there too, to kind of buffer it a little bit. I want to say, like in my experience, I think these plants are actually doing better than the plants that, well, the young anthuriums that I've put into just a regular pond without the stratum. I personally think that the leaves look healthier, but again, this is just based on what I've observed in the past 3 months with these ones. And comparing it to other times where I didn't use a mix like this. And again, this was just experimental. Yeah, I still think that she's a cutie and hopefully she grows real big. The next one is the Anthurium Dark Phoenix crossed with Velvet Mask. Okay, so I'll show you the older leaves. So that was existing already. That one was existing already. She did push out a new leaf and she looks fantastic. Sorry, I'm looking at like the new leaf and I didn't really realize how crunched she was. I don't know if she got stuck, but the tip is crunchonia and it's not like a proper shape. What happened? Okay, that's a question mark, but do you see? Ooh, the shape is so beautiful. So she's still here doing her thing and there's a root sticking out there. Okay, I think, oh, okay, there's one that's like, I feel like it's gonna be dead. But this is the last one that's like doing decent. And then I'll show you the seed progress. Y'all know my history with seeds. I'm so bad with them. The next one is the Anthurium Velvet Mask crossed with Self. Okay, I think this one was doing poorly too because you can see I cut her in half. But look at this new leaf. Whoa, okay, listen. I love a rounded, you know, it's like a velvet mask. Oh my God, obviously. But you know, sometimes when you like pollinate, you don't get those characteristics and this leaf is pretty dark. Like it is looking like the color of the parent. And then there's a new leaf. Oh my gosh, I've been trying to like every day, I'm trying to spray this. I don't wanna like manipulate it, but let me just run it under the faucet again. Anyhow, do you see, oh my God, I don't know, the light. Okay, do you see how there's like a little bit of like yellowing? I don't know if it's showing. I guess you can see a little bit of yellowing there. I went to see And this root that was sitting in the reservoir, and I know that this was a lot longer. You can see that it's rotted because that part was sitting in the reservoir. So another example of it can tolerate it for a while because I know that root was really healthy before just based on like what I saw in the past few months. But now that it's sitting in there, it's starting to go, okay, it released itself. Yay, okay, hopefully it's not damaged because it was like that for a little bit. Probably one of the ones, this velvet mask, that I'm super excited for. Ooh, the color is like the velvet mask. I'm so excited. Okay, so that's her. This is the PP. Oh my god, I did this before. What does PP stand for? Oh, it's DP. Oh my god, this keeps happening. Dark Phoenix crossed with Ace of Spades Dark Form. So this was just a seed. I put it on a bed of moss in high humidity. And then since then, I put that moss part and I put it on top of tree fern. And then there's pond at the bottom. I don't know what I was doing. She has sprouted 2 leaves, which is great. But honestly, everyone, she's been like this for a little bit. So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I find seeds so challenging. Like, I just don't know at what stage can I remove the humidity dome or the cling wrap? At what time should I start feeding? How is it gonna tolerate me taking it out? Like, I don't know. It's so much to think about. She's gonna keep living here. I do have the grow light really close. And she's also up against my south-facing window. I might be wrong, but there might have been one that didn't make it. But I think I might be mixing up with this one, which is probably dead, but I'm keeping my hopes up. This is my Anthurium No ID. And I was so excited because she did have like a semi-closed sinus here. And as you can see, I did my strategy again where I leave one leaf and then I cut in half. Why don't we together look to see if there's anything in this ball? No way. Is there anything new? See, there's a growth point down here. I'm gonna show you. This didn't exist before. That white part right there. Oh, is there another one down there? Okay, so there's a few new growth points, but no new roots. You see the bright white? New, and then there's another one on the flip side down here. New. So sometimes when I see this, those new growth points will grow a root system once it grows a little bit more, and then that will be the root system because like right now, none of them have done anything. So we're gonna cross our fingers. Those 3 growth points didn't exist before, so it's not terrible. And there actually was a new growth point up here, but I don't think it's happening. I think it just died. So this is the one that did the worst. Okay, so that concludes the part of the video that looked at the Anthuriums that I got 3 months ago. There are 3 more that I got 2 months ago. I'm gonna guess it was 2 months ago. I'm so excited for 2 of them, and there's one that's not really doing that great. Two out of 3 of these plants, at the time, as we all do, we were all, I love how I'm saying we, like this was a collective decision. I told myself, okay, Kevin, pause on buying the plants unless you see something that's so one of a kind. The King of Spades that I'm gonna show you in a bit, and then this one, I was like, definitely one of a kind. I need to get my hands on it. King of Spades crossed with Velvet Mask. And I bought this plant because the leaves are so dark. So you can see that they're pretty dark. Obviously it's against the white, so it's kind of deceiving. And then this is the newest leaf that had the hole in it. Okay, it's looking darker on camera. Anyhow, look at this new leaf. It is so dark. And the backs are so red. Are you joking? Yeah, I just bought this. I was like, it's so dark. It has Velvet Mask genes. I'm gonna be obsessed. And the first leaf coming out, so beautiful. What? This is gorgeous, everyone. Yeah, you can see the difference. Look at it. So dark. No roots in the reservoir, But these I put straight into Pon and Stratum because of what I observed with the ones that I got 3 months ago. I was like, okay, if they all feel good, because usually if they're dehydrated, I'll leave them in water for like 1 to 2 days just to get them hydrated and ready for the transfer. And these ones all felt good. So I was like, okay, let's put them straight into Pon, and this one loved it. Look at that. So yeah, HU King of Spades crossed with Velvet Mask, looking so good. And okay, why don't we look at the other one? This is the Velvet Mask crossed with Self. So I bought this because, I mean, you can see that it's a little bit dark, but again, the non-existent sinus. It aborted a few leaves, like I think 2 in total. Oh, I don't even know. So you could kind of see that they're, I don't know if those are like the petioles that existed before, or if they're new growth points, just because like the top is black. I think they're like, okay, yeah, they're old petioles because I can see. But I do want to say that the root growth is great. There are 2 sets of aerial roots that weren't here before that have now rooted in the Pon's Rapid. Oh, you can see it there. Hopefully she bounces back. I mean, seeing that root system that wasn't there before, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be okay. And so yeah, this is the second one here. And the third one from that package. Okay, I posted, okay, Future Kevin put in the picture from my Instagram. So this was a picture of when she wasn't fully hardened off yet. And I was like, wow, those pinks really stay. But you'll know with anthuriums that a lot of the time they don't stay until the end. And I want to say that this one is staying now and the leaf got darker. So I told myself, and this was another like excuse for me to buy a plant, but I said that I wouldn't buy King of Spades because I still didn't get a King of Spades until I saw this one. I want one with thin, muted veins, like in that realm, or the opposite, ones that had very thick, crystally veins, and I didn't want anything in between. So when I saw this one, I was like, okay, you gotta get your hands on it. Do you see how, like, I don't know, you can see the pink center, you can see the veins, but they're quite muted, and you can see how dark it got. Oh, I'm so excited to see how this grows. Are you joking? Okay, the leaves before that, and you'll see the color difference. You see. But do you see also that the pink in the center kind of stays a little bit? I'm obsessed. Are you joking? That is just so wonderful. What? Okay, and then the oldest leaf here. There's a new leaf coming, and she's like, again, like the other ones, she's been stuck in there. So I think I did this 2 days ago, but please don't be damaged. And I do want to stress, like, these are really thick leaves. I don't know if it's just this one. I don't have any other experiences with King of Spades, but it's so thick compared to my other plants. Like, it's almost feeling like Monstera Burley Mark's Flame, and just how much thicker it is than the other Monsteras. The same thing with this one, like it's a lot thicker than the, see, I'm like doing this and I'm not even scared. Another one I'm so excited for, and I'm so glad that I gave myself an excuse to buy these because they're like kind of, in my opinion, this is like kind of a one-of-a-kind situation for King of Spades. I mean, obviously there's so many variants of it. And okay, so those 3 are actually not in the same place as my other ones. Those ones are actually getting less light, so I want to say they're getting probably 500 to 1,000 foot candles for 11 hours a day under my Sun Blaster LED grow lights. But with the ones that I got 3 months ago, which are like the space between the grow light and the plant are this, with the other one, the space is like that. So, you know, they are getting additional light from a west-facing view, but not really getting the full blast, if that makes sense, because the balcony's there. To end it, there are 2 anthuriums that I just got maybe 2 to 4 weeks ago, and y'all are gonna be like, Kevin, stop. But I put these 2 straight into Tree Fern, and this is the Velvet Mask. I know, I'm so obsessed with Velvet Mask, but I had to. I again was looking at a lot like leaves that were a little bit darker, more muted veins, and you can see that this new leaf is over here. So I didn't film this unboxing, I just like Had to get the plants, put them in a substrate, and just, yeah, but look at this. Obsessed. Okay, and then the last one, I thought was feeling really dehydrated. I didn't do the method where oh God, I didn't label it. I think this is a Blue Pappy cross with King of Spades. No, it's not that. Blue Pappy cross with King Crystallinum. Kevin, just put it here. This is what it is. Don't listen to me. It's definitely Blue Pappy cross with something. So she felt really dehydrated. And so that's the newest leaf. She was a lot darker before. And then she pushed out this leaf. Ooh, look, I don't know. The shape is looking so good. It is reminding me a lot of Clarinervium, which I'm obsessed with. But yeah, oh my God. There's a black dot. Are you a bug? I think it's just fern. Okay. Based on my experience, I feel like in the future, I might just put them in a substrate. And I think I'm leaning towards tree fern fiber substrate. I mean, although I do see great results so far with the ones that are in the pond stratum mix, I mean, through the months since I started using tree fern fiber, I'm obsessed. It needs to be in a self-watering planter though. Like I find that if it's not in a self-watering planter, the fern dries out so quickly, and that's a no-no when it comes to anthurium. So I will always, moving forward, put them in self-watering planters unless I'm planning to like trade or sell them in the future. But I think I would do that differently. I wouldn't have them sit in the water for 2 weeks because I think that's why there was a little bit of a lag. And the idea I had was to put it in high humidity, whether that was like in a bin or maybe weather stripping that IKEA greenhouse that I got. But it's summertime now. I didn't want to go through the hassle of acclimating them in the future. And this room is a lot warmer these past couple of months, and the humidity has been a little higher than on average. So I think if I was doing this in a different season, like fall, winter, spring, I think I would put it in a bin. But because it was summertime, and I don't know if that's why, you know, they haven't grown as much, because I've seen other people on social media, like they post, like, and I know these people have like humidity tents. What are they called? Grow tents. Or them in like humidity, like apparatuses. And their growth is so rapid, but my boyfriend and I love air conditioning. It's summertime. We like our place being cool. And so there's a lot of like cool airflow going on. It does drop the temperature. So I don't know, maybe that's why. And it's gonna be interesting to see like what happens in the future. Out of all of these, I get that King of Spades that I showed you at the end, and that Velvet Mask King of Spades, the dark one. Are you joking? Like, that is nuts. And honestly, I slept on this plant, but like Hoffmanii crosses, like I know they're generally like, well, at least the one from Cartel Down, it's like rounder and like the veins are just, I don't know, it's so weird. I'm obsessed with it, so I think I might get more Hoffmanii hybrids. We will see. And I want to thank y'all for watching my content once again. Schedule has been inconsistent. Putting out this video, a second video this week, just because I gotta make more cash for Vancouver. If y'all missed my horror video on Monday, it is confirmed I am going to Vancouver from September 20th to 22nd. There is a plant show called The Secret Plant Show from the 20th to 21st. I'll put a link in the description below. It's gonna be the first year it's happening. It's gonna be hosted at the Van Dusen Botanical Gardens. I still don't know if I'm saying it right. Please correct me. And yeah, it's gonna be so nice to meet all these people that I've known on social media and finally meeting them in person. And so I'll put the link in the description. I'm very excited. I'm going with Marian and we are going to sightsee because we've never been to Vancouver. I feel like I'm rambling. And anyhow, I will join you in the next one.